Good morning and welcome back. Now today's video is going to be all about herbal infusions, what it is, how to do it, why we want to use it and so on, because this is something lovely that I like to use in my soap making. I love to use it in my other skincare products and so on. Okay, so first things first, what happened was I was starting to play around with glycerides. Now glycerides is when you infuse glycerin with your herbs. You can even infuse glycerin with fruits and all kinds of other things, but I'll still do a video on the glycerides as well. But for this one, I realized, you know what, when I use the same herbs in glycerin and in oil, I get a total different color variation there. So something is different. So then I started to dive deeper into the herbal infusions, and I realized, you know what, there are some constituents in herbs that are more water soluble, some of them are more oil soluble, and some of them dissolve much easier when there's alcohol present. So yeah, and some of them are even with vinegar. So there are actually different constituents that dissolve in different places. So when I was doing my oil infusions, I actually only infused it with the oil-soluble constituents. So let me just quickly show you here. I've got a plantain and castor oil, and then I've got the plantain, also in castor oil. It's the same batch of herbs, it's the same batch of castor oil, but I've used two different methods. Now the old method was just plain oil infusion, and then the new one is the alcohol intermediary infusion method. So with this one, I actually used a little bit of alcohol. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. I don't know, I don't think it's a really new method. I think it might have been around the block for quite some time. I just didn't know about it. So yeah, so why would we like to do it? Now with your oil solubles, I'm going to give you a little bit of information. For those that don't want to know the deeper stuff around it, you can just jump over to the method. You're more than welcome to do that as well. Okay, in your oil-soluble constituents are the gums, the resins, the volatile oils, vitamin A, D, E, and K, the addict that we know so well, and then the sterols and the terpenes. Those guys love to dissolve in oil, but there are other constituents as well. Now, the ones that actually dissolve quite well in alcohol are the alkaloids, the resins, the flavonoids, the camphor. I'm not sure if it's A or R is, but camphor. Some vitamins, and then your pigments as well. Now, that is why it looks so vibrant, is because the pigments dissolve much easier in the alcohol than in the oil. So then we get this nice colors. So with the plantain, it's just green. But if you go into your other skincare products where you want to use something that is water soluble, with the glycerin, then you can go into all the lovely colors of hibiscus. Hibiscus make the most brilliant pink red lovely color, but we will get to those as well. Okay, so let me show you how to do this alcohol intermediary method. It's actually very easy. It's much faster than it can be much faster than just the oil, but yeah, then you get the best of both worlds. There are some of the constituents that's still not going to be in your oil, but I think this is just a step up to what we used to do. It's definitely a step up for me. I love to get what would I call it? A full plant extraction. So we want to get more of the plant, because the plant were designed for a specific way with all the stuff that works together. So the more stuff we can get together in the same oil, so much better. With soap making, I don't know how much of it actually goes through in the saponification process, but if something survives there, awesomely. But this is really lovely when you start making your own creams and lotions and your body butters and so on. Then you can actually infuse your oil with all of the loveliness. Let me just show you how it's easy. Okay, we're going to start out with our herbs in a clean jar. Now, I am weighing down my herbs. The only reason why I do that is because I make products, and I really want to have a consistent product all the way through. So what I've done is I already labeled it. You can use any kind of herb. So here is mine. So I already pre-weighed 10 grams of it out of here. And then I've got a plastic funnel that I cut the bottom of. It actually just helps me to much easier fill the bottles and stuff. So, and then you're going to add your herbs in here. The herbs, you can process it with a food processor, but I prefer not to, because then you end up with very fine dust at the end and it's really hard to strain them out. So it tends to always end up in your end product there. So, but I use a scissor and I do snip it, because you want to expose as much of the surface as possible to our oil. Now that is more like dust. I'm not going to add that to it because I need to strain it out later on. So, okay, then you've got your little bottle there with your herbs, and then you're going to add the uniform meat works out about the same amount. If I use 10 grams of herb, then I use 10 grams of alcohol as well. So what I'm doing here, I've got ethanol, 95%. Okay, so I'm just going to directly add it in here. What you want to do is you want to just wet the herbs. You don't want to make it completely wet. It just needs to be moist. So I'm just going to tear it. I know I've got 10 grams in there, and 10 grams of alcohol. It's just going to do it there. So there we go. Okay. Then you're going to just close your lid and you're going to shake it up. And you're going to let it stand for 24 hours. So after 24 hours, I've got one here that I've been standing for a while. You can see there's a bit of a difference in there. So this one has been waiting for me. Then I'm going to add 300 grams of oil. Now again, this is more give or take what you prefer to do. Okay, let me just get the different scale that can weigh a little bit heavier stuff. So tear it there. Get it in. Okay, I'm adding sunflower oil to this one because I want to use it in a cream. So usually I do my castor oil, but castor oil can tend to be very heavy and slow to absorb. So this one I'm going to use my sunflower oil. Sunflower oil is actually awesome on the skin. You can use olive oil as well. My husband just dislikes the smell of olive oil, so I decided to go for the sunflower oil instead for him. Okay, and as you see, I've done this previously. So this is exact 300 grams. And you're going to close it up again. And you're going to shake it up. Now for this, you're going to let it stand for, okay, what you can do, there's 3 different methods. Okay, you can either mix it with a blender for 5 minutes straight, or you can let it infuse in a cool, a nice warm place, or you can actually do like I do. I like to put it in my little baby bottle warmer. So, and I'm going to let it infuse there for a few hours because the heat actually does really help. And what I then do is, after I've infused it for a while, I will open the lid, and the alcohol, most of the alcohol will evaporate out of it as well. So there's different ways to do it. Another way that I sometimes do it is I will add it, I will put it in my incubator. I've got an egg incubator. One of those things that I bought that was a good idea that just should have stayed an idea. Okay, but things do happen. Okay, so after you infused it, let me just quickly go get the other one. We are going to strain it. So I've got my glass jar here. This is like a coffee sieve. And I like to, it's a unbleached cotton sieve that I've made. Okay, so this is now nice and warm from the baby bottle warmer. Let me just open it up. Okay, before, I'm just going to give it one last shake here. And then I'm just going to plonk the whole bunch of it and strain them all at once. Now this is actually yarrow and castor oil. So castor oil tend to be more viscous and it's much thicker, so it will strain slower. Okay, and then we're just going to add it to our nice clean jar here. Where we're going to label it, and then you can store it. And there you've got your Alcohol Intermediary infused herbal oil, which is absolutely lovely. There we go. And you can store it for later use. Now you can use this in your soap, or you can use it in your creams and ointments and stuff, salves, and the shelf life should be around 2 years if you use new fresh oil. Okay, with the alcohol it might last a little bit longer because you reduce the amount of microbes on the herbs and stuff that you introduce to the oil. So it might even last a little bit longer. Oh, look at that, lovely. Okay, I hope that helped you a lot. You must enjoy your day. Thank you for spending time with me. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And if you are a soap maker, may the trace be with you. And I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.